So for the next section, we are actually doing the opposite of distributive. We are trying to remove a common factor from both or all the terms in a polynomial. So in this case, we don't have any brackets. We're not starting with any, and we're bringing the brackets back. So in this case, we look at both numbers. What goes into 5 and 15? 5 goes into both, we remove it, and then x can be taken out of both terms, so that goes in front. Then what's left over is if we divide by 5x, we have x. And if we do negative 15x divided by 5x, we have negative 3. So this is what's common to both outside the brackets. Whatever's left over from the polynomial goes inside. So we're trying to create the brackets. It's the opposite of distributive. Now it doesn't matter if we have 2 terms or 3 terms, the process is the same. We look at all the numbers. 5 goes into all 3, so 5 goes in front. Now x can be taken out of both the first 2 terms, but not the third, so we can't take it out. So what's left over? Divide by 5, divide by 5. So when we factor the GCF, we can do it with a binomial or a trinomial, and in the end we have brackets with the GCF in front. So let's try 2 examples. Now this one's nice and easy. 3 and 6, I'm going to use the ladder method. The only number that goes into both 3 and 6 is 3. And if I divide, 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Now we don't need the 1 there, it can be invisible, but it's good to remember that we're dividing each time. So the g's, there's only g's in this one, so I can't take any letters out. So the leftovers goes inside the brackets, the GCF goes in front. This one, it's a little more complicated. We have a negative in front. One thing to remember, if the first term has a negative, we always put a negative in the GCF. 16 and 8, you can take out 2, you can take out 4. Let's take out 4. Now we could go bigger, but just to show you that it doesn't matter if you take small numbers or big numbers. So dividing by negative 4, divide by negative 4, gets a negative. Now in this case, 2 also goes into it. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Invisible 1, you can put it there if you want. Next up, we have y's in both. I can only take out 1 because this one only has 1. I can't take more than 1 out. Divide by y. Y divided by y is 1. Don't forget that. So a little trick there. Now that we're done, nothing else goes into these 2 terms. So we have to take these and multiply them. Do not add them together. So negative 4 times 2 is negative 8y. And all of this goes inside the brackets. So again, the leftover goes inside the brackets. The GCF goes in front. And remember, we're multiplying. It's a good thing to check. Does 8 go into 16? 8 goes into 8? Yes, it does. I know I've done it right. So for this one, the first thing you'll notice is the 6 is at the beginning, the z squares are at the end. So keep in mind, we always want to put in the right order. And the order is the biggest exponents to the one with nothing. Okay, so z squared, z, no z's. When we do the GCF, we want to look for a number. If you're stuck on these, always check the small prime numbers. If 2 doesn't go into it, skip to 3, 5, and 7. If 2 goes into it, you can check some bigger even numbers. But if 2 doesn't go, none of these will go in. So let's take a look. 18, 12, and 6. 2 definitely goes into all 3 of these. I can go up to 4. 4 does not go into 6. 6 goes into all 3 of them. So check the smallest numbers. I prefer to do as big as I can do in my head. I know 6 goes into all of them. Don't forget, 6 divided by 6 does not disappear, it leaves a 1 behind. So there we go. The Z's, this one doesn't have any. Always check the last one. If there's no Z's in this one, I can't take any Z's out in the GCF. So my GCF is 6, and all of this goes inside. And I'm done. GCF in front, the remainder inside. So try taking a look at this in your notes. Can you factor this before I do it? Pause the video and then check the answer. So this one right away, I see the negative at the front. I need to take out a negative. I can't have a negative on the first term. Just to double check, I have 6 letters, 5 letters, 3 letters. They're in the right order. So I start with my ladder. So it needs to be negative 20, 30, 25. 10 goes into both of these, but not this one. 5 goes into all of them. Again, if you're stuck, check your small prime numbers. So take out negative 5. Remember, negative divided by negative is positive. Now, just to double check, 4, 6, and 5, nothing goes into all 3. So I'm going to start with the C's. Now I've got 5, 3, and 2. I can only take out 2, whatever the smallest number of C's are. And I have none left, which is what I want. One of the terms should not have any C's. The D's are next. I have 1, 2, and 1. I can only take out 1. I can't take more than that. And now I've gone as far as I can. I can't take any more letters. So my GCF, multiply these together. And the leftover goes inside the brackets. And I'm done.